So I buy courses, I hire coaches, I pay for things. But one of my biggest pet peeves is getting into a sales process, into a sales call where I feel like I am being pushed to buy. But worse than that, I'm being pushed to buy on the basis that I should feel really crappy about where I am in my business. And so therefore, I should buy what they have to offer because without them,
I'm doomed.
have you ever felt like this? So this video is about how to sell your coaching programs without being pushy. So let's get into it. So what I like to teach in sales is something that I call the invitation process. And in this invitation process, I have broken it down by 4 phases. This works best if you already have a sense of what your main offer is, what your tagline is, what your vision for your business is, what your product mix is. That is all important to know as you are embarking on a journey to connect with potential clients and essentially sell them on your goods. Now, if you don't have a plan like that, I have another video that walks you through how to create a simple business plan for yourself. So go ahead and watch that now. So this invitation process, as I mentioned, is broken down into 4 phases. Now, I have been business coaching since 2010, and I have to say that when I hired my mentors around the sales aspect of this, it felt a little bit old school. Like the materials that they developed, the processes, the step-by-step that they developed to coach their coachees, it did feel a little bit old school, and it felt like I was kind of in the 80s, like doing the cold call, selling the vacuums, right? However, and also I should mention that my business was different back then. So I did a lot more in-person conversations, essentially getting people to sign up for particular contracts in one sitting over coffee at a cafe, which, by the way, in order to do that properly, took a solid 90 minutes. So that was my life in 2010, right? That's how I got the majority of my clients in 2010, and I was able to use those processes to get a full client list and be a coach full time. Now, fast forward, in the online marketing world, I'm like, well, what do I do with all these steps? Because I'm no longer meeting people in person at a coffee shop to go through that process with them and hopefully enroll them in my coaching program. So what as I had to learn online marketing more recently, and as I have been coaching my clients, I really broke it down to the 4 phases so that it's easy to understand, but also understanding that all of those elements are there and all of those elements have to be there. So I had a business coach tell me once, like when I wasn't closing clients, he's like, well, what step did you miss? And he had a list of like 20 steps. And that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm not even sure that it is. So I had to go back and say, oh, well, I didn't do that little step. Well, exactly. That's why you didn't close your clients. Phase 1 of the invitation process. Again, there are 4 phases. Let's start with phase 1. So likely you've been online, you're commenting, you're engaging with people, and you yourself might have been seeking out some kind of information and services. So really, I want you to think about, where are your clients hanging out? Are they hanging out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn? Choose your platform. Or is it in person? Where are they hanging out? So phase 1 is finding your clients. So at this point, you might be asking them or connecting with them one-on-one, asking them questions about where they're at on their journey within the transformation that you are trying to support your clients through. So to really just get an understanding of like who they are, you're essentially pre-qualifying them, right? So you're actually assessing, it's like, well, is this a potential client or not? Is this something I can help this particular person with? Does it align with the services that I can provide? Or is there something that I can offer them in terms of my product suite, whether it's just my freebie or whether they're actually ready to buy a full-fledged program that you've created, a more intensive program perhaps, or more advanced coaching program. That's essentially where you're at in the phase 1 of finding your clients. it is best to try and connect with them offline as much as possible. So that might be in person over a cup of coffee, or it just might be saying, hey, we've been chatting in this Facebook group. Do you want to connect with me on Zoom? And just get to know them face to face. Having that eye contact, building that rapport is a really great way to just get to know your clients a little bit more intimately. And this is especially important as you are new in your business. I know lots of people want to create courses or go straight to training or group coaching, that kind of thing. But I highly recommend working one-on-one with people in the early stages of your business. It really gives you an intimate understanding of the specific problems they might be experiencing and how you can actually help them. So having these one-on-one conversations, whether you even want to sell them anything at all at that point, is really valuable for you to understand the landscape and what potential clients may be looking at. Sometimes when you have those conversations, it'll be like, bam, this person is amazing, or an ideal client and is ready to buy what I have to offer. So you really may find those people, but really this is just a bit of a discovery phase where you're really just getting to know where to find your clients, who are they, and from that point to bring them along in your sales process. You also want to be open to partnering with them, collaborating with them. And I say this from the perspective of sometimes when you reach out to people, they might want to actually reverse pitch you, right? So it becomes this scenario where you are essentially, there's a little bit of friction there maybe, because maybe they agree to a Zoom call with you because they have a service that they want to offer you. And you wanted a Zoom call with them because you're trying to be dominant and saying like, no, I'm the mentor, I should be coaching you, or providing you with this training, or selling you into this program, or inviting you to my mini course or my bigger course. So it becomes kind of this friction. So what I want to get across here is to be open to exchanges or partnering or collaboration, especially in the early stages of your business. It might be that, you do a barter for services, or some kind of coaching or mentoring in specific areas. And then in that case, you can, just exchange experiences and testimonials and get feedback on your coaching program. If you're more advanced and you're a little bit more cautious about how you're spending your time, then I don't necessarily recommend that approach, but it really is a nice approach at the beginning of your business. If you are liking this content, please like this video so that it can get noticed by more people, and I can build my YouTube channel because that's what I'm focusing on right now, and also so that I can help more people like you. Now, phase 2 of the invitation process is inviting them to your free experience. So you've built a little bit of a rapport. If you have been in the marketing space for a while, sometimes you don't really have to have those one-on-one conversations necessarily, but a lot of times it really helps, especially if you are selling a more, I'll say, a coaching program that requires a little bit more a level of intimacy and closeness with your client, right? So maybe in the wellness field, maybe it's mental health field, or NLP or life coaching or something like that, like where people are really trusting you with their life. I mean, not to be dramatic, but yeah. So yeah, not to be dramatic about that, but like it might require a deeper level of trust. If you've been in the marketing space for a little while, people really know, like, and trust you, you could sometimes just send out a post and say, come to my free experience. And chances are that some of the people that you've had these conversations with in the past are going to come because you've built rapport with them already, right? And then also you'll get like people that have been sort of watching you, in a less obvious space coming into those free experiences. So phase 2 of the invitation process is to invite them into some kind of free experience that models how you might provide the service. Now, this may be a discovery call, or it may be a webinar or a training session or a workshop that you do, an in-person retreat. It can be it wouldn't be an in-person retreat because that might be something that you pay for, but it might be like a lunch and learn or something along that line, right? Like some kind of snippet of how it would be like for that client to experience your services. Now, when you're inviting them to your free experience, you might want to ask them something like, where specifically are you struggling? Or what have you tried in the past to address that issue? And really get a sense of where they've been and where they were at, and also where maybe others have failed them, so that you can address how the fallout occurred or how the failure occurred in past experiences. And then from that, you can say, well, you know, it sounds like you were going through this, and this. Are you open to coming to my free experience? And you can name that free experience, obviously. And to kind of check this out. No obligation, you know, just come and check it out. Now, on to phase 3. Phase 3 of the invitation process is to actually deliver that free experience. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit juicy. Now that they have accepted your invitation to the free experience, it is time to deliver value. I don't want you to overlook this phase just because you're not getting paid for it, because it is a really important piece of the process. Remember that the goal is to demonstrate, explain, or present what it would be like to work with you if they decide to hire you. So the experience should also match the product. So if it's a coaching program, then you want a one-on-one coaching call perhaps with someone. If it's a mini course, then maybe it's a little workshop, right? That presents your teaching style, for example. Now, when you invite people to the free experience, you're essentially wanting to set up a what can be called an upfront contract. So you want people to come and feel committed to the experience. So you may want to ask them on some level, look, I want you to be able to commit to an hour of your time. Is that possible? So really, you're just getting their attention, you're getting their commitment, and you're getting their commitment to actually show up and fully participate and fully prepare. You can send them questions in advance of that, and have them fill out a little survey or something so that you can prepare to serve them a little bit more. And what that does is it brings another level of commitment by your potential client. And that's really telling in terms of a pre-qualification process. And that's really important in the sales process. Another part of this upfront contract, essentially setting the stage and the expectations, you can say to them, now, if I do an amazing job and offered you a ton of value in what I've shown you, would you be open to seeing how we could work together? You could say by hiring me, by coming to my upcoming retreat, by looking at some of my coaching packages or courses, however it is that you want to put that. Now, they're at your free experience because they've probably already said that they have a problem that they're dealing with. Now it's the job to figure out if their readiness and the appropriateness for you to actually sell them something. And that's part of not being a pushy salesperson. You really only want to make an offer if they're at a phase in their journey where you can match up an offer for them. And this sets you up with phase 4. And phase 4 I call the comfortable close. And by the way, you guys, I have an in-depth training of the 4 phases of the invitation process inside my course. So I'm going to put that link into the description. And if you'd like, you can go check it out. And a comfortable close, you guys, it doesn't have to be any of these fancy sales closing statements, objection handling, complicated kind of things. It could be as simple as, so what do you think? And just sit back and listen. Let them tell you what their experience is with this free experience that you have given them. They will, chances are they're going to open up to you and say, especially in a one-on-one scenario, they're going to open up to you and say what they found valuable, what they didn't find valuable, and where they are on their personal journey. So there you have it, you guys. These are some really simple steps to the sales conversation and making it more of a heart-centered approach. I hope that you enjoyed all the information in this video. I will see you in the next video.